Hey guys, it's Day here. Not gonna show my face for now, maybe in future vlogs or something. So please enjoy the view from my bedroom window. So today we are going to be talking about composers and their ninth symphonies. Like basically what happens to them when they compose their ninth symphony. We'll get into more detail later. I'll probably throw together a weird slideshow thingy because I have no idea what I'm doing. This idea was inspired by one of my favorite YouTube channels called Two Set Violin, and they did a video about 3 weeks ago talking about classical music conspiracies, and one of the things they talked about was this. So, time to do research. Alright, I think I'm done with the, presentation. I guess I'll read it now. Alright, so before we start, there are probably 3 other composers that was also affected by this quote-unquote curse, but I didn't want to bore people, therefore I'll just leave it to the composers that are more so well known. Alright, composers and 9 symphonies. The first one, Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven. First one to be affected by the curse. He died on March 26, 1827 at 56 years old. He finished composing his 9th symphony in 1824, and he died of liver damage. And then we have Franz Schubert. He died on November 19, 1828 at only 31 years old. I think he was one of the youngest composers to die out of this bunch. Well, specifically this bunch who died from the quote curse. So he actually started drafting a 10th symphony in the last few months of his life. So he started the 10th, but then he died from what was believed to be typhoid fever, or maybe even probably something I cannot say because I have to keep this PG. I think his name is Anton Dvorak. Yes. He died on May 1st, 1904 at 63 years old. Did I say 63 years old? At 63 years old, whatever. His 9th symphony is better known as the New World Symphony. You'll probably recognize it when you hear it. And he finished composing it in 1893, and he died of an undiagnosed cause, possibly from being sick with the flu, when he got it about a month prior. Bruckner, I don't know what his first name is. Even though I looked it up, I wasn't paying attention. He died on October 11, 1896. Probably should put a comma there, but whatever. At 72 years old from congestive heart failure, because old people things. His 9th symphony had 3 movements with varying amount of parts within each one. So, the first movement had 3 different parts, and then the second movement had only 1 part. The third movement, I think, had also 3 parts. And then the fourth, I don't know how far he got, but he died while he was writing it, so therefore 4th movement was left unfinished. It's believed that he dedicated this symphony specifically to God. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Gustav Mahler. He died on May 18th, 1911 at 50 years old. Still pretty young, but like I said, Schubert was the youngest one. He died from pneumonia. He actually contracted pneumonia after he wrote his 9th, so while he was writing his 10th. So, symphony was written between 1908 and 1909, and this was technically the 10th, so like I said, since he didn't include his other piece. So, I guess they were saying something when you go to Classical FM, they were saying things like he was sort of obsessed with the fact that composers died after composing their 9th symphony. So I guess he tried to get around it. So he was like, I'm gonna cheat the system, because so therefore he wrote 9, but then he didn't consider it as a symphony when he composed. I'm not going to pronounce that because I don't want to offend any German people. So his symphony was called Song of the Earth. So technically he had 10, but he tried to probably beat the system and didn't, thus further proving the quote-unquote curse. And like I said earlier, this is probably just, you know, sheer coincidence because of no modern medicine and all that things. Because it's like when people contract pneumonia nowadays, we usually don't die from it. Like, he died from it, so that's probably the reason why. I think it's just like how things all lined up that caused them to die after writing their ninth. So it doesn't have to do really, it doesn't really have to do anything with the number 9 or their ninth symphony. I think it's just coincidence. So yeah. But I encourage you all, to whoever watches this, to do some research, look into the classical world, because it's more interesting than you probably think it is. There are a lot of really cool pieces out there. My recommendation is Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. Yes, it's 35 minutes long, but the first movement is so good. I love it so much. So I encourage you to just explore the classical world and just see. You might find some things that you like. Alright guys, don't forget to like, comment. Oh wait, no, you can't comment. Never mind. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. We'll see how this goes. Thanks for watching.